Hey friends, it's Laura with Laura's Handmade Haven. Welcome or welcome back. I'm so glad you joined me today. I have another product review for you today, and this is on the BLEDS Cordless Glue Gun. I received this product a few weeks ago, and I've just been trying to figure out what I was going to do with it. Decided I was going to do a cross-stitch finish for you guys, and so I've just been having it heat up. It's been heating up probably 2 or 2.5 minutes at this point, so it should be just about ready. It says in the little user's guide that it takes about 1 to 3 minutes for it to fully warm up the glue so you can use it. I did need to charge the glue gun before I could use it today, and it comes with just a USB cable that plugs into a block to plug into your wall to charge up that rechargeable lithium battery. So the glue gun does come in this really nice zippered case. This is kind of like a hard case. It's not, I don't know, it's nice. And it has a zipper that goes around to keep everything inside, and it has a nice little handle on it. Inside the case, now the glue gun's sitting on my table, so it's not in there yet. But inside the case, it does have the USB cable for charging, and it comes with a really nice pack of glue sticks. And the glue sticks, there's even some glitter glue sticks in there. So if you have projects that you like to do with some glitter glue, you do have a few sticks that will come with from just the main product pack that comes with the glue stick, the glue gun. All right, so we're just going to head on over to the craft table and finish our cross-stitch piece and try out this glue gun and see what we think. Okay, so on the craft table today, I have this cute little cross-stitch piece that I have done. Oh man, this has probably been a couple of years since I finished this. This is a Stitching with the Housewives seed packet. It's the lavender seeds, obviously. It says fancy lavender seeds on it. And this is on a hand-dyed 14 count Aida cloth. I did some hand dyeing tutorials way back on the channel on how to do some ice dyeing, and I believe this is one of the things from that. So yeah, check that out. And so we're just going to put this on this cute little block today. And this block, I got it at Hobby Lobby a few years ago when they had 90% off on their fall items. And it just so happens this fits like perfectly on this block. So, and I am gonna go ahead and wrap my cloth around to the sides. I am gonna add some ribbon to it as well, but I'm just going to wrap this onto the block itself and glue it down with the glue gun, and we'll see what we think of the glue gun. All right. Okay. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I have actually already kind of lined this up on the block. Let me move you a little closer. So I'm just going to kind of see where I want this on the block, and I do kind of want to try to center it as best as I can. I'm not going to be super anal about this though, okay? So just don't think that this is not going to be super, super perfect, but it's going to be good enough. I'm going to start on the bottom edge just because when I fold these corners, I want those flipping up on the sides, just so I want to use this for like a shelf sitter. So I don't want my folds on the bottom because I'm afraid to get a little wobbly. So I'm going to keep that bottom as flat as possible. So here we are with our glue gun. I'm just squeezing the trigger. It's coming out pretty nicely. This glue gun does use the smaller sticks, so just keep that in mind. Now this is an Aida cloth, so I'm trying to be a little careful with this because that glue will come through those little holes on the Aida cloth if I'm not too careful. All right, so there's the bottom, and then I am going to go ahead and do the top as well. See, this worked out really well. That looks pretty good. Okay, so now I'm just going to do the top. Oh, I got a little drippage over there. I must have squeezed too much, so let me make sure. All right, so I'm going to be honest and tell you, it is definitely dripping. Now that I've started the glue stick coming out of the product, it's definitely dripping, which, most glue guns do, but this seems a little excessive, honestly. We'll see what happens if I just let it sit there. All right, and then I'm going to do this side, and then after I get this side done, I'm just going to flip this corner up and flip this corner down. So the first thing I'm going to do is just glue the side, and like I said, this is kind of drippy. I always tell companies that want to send me products that I would love, you know, if it's something that fits with the channel, I'm like, yeah, I'll review your product, but just know that I'm going to be honest. So you can always trust that I will give you an honest review on these items. I'm not going to say, oh, this is great, or there's no issues if I see any issues. And like I said, this one is kind of dripping a little bit. It could just be that I'm just squeezing too much. I don't know. But I have definitely let go of the trigger there. Bring this down. It's kind of like, you know, you're folding a package, I guess. And I'm going to put a little glue here. All right, now let's go ahead and do this other side. Now I have a corded glue gun that I use a lot for my cross stitch finishing, and it has a dual setting on it so I can do high and low. And to be quite honest with you, most of the time I have it on the high setting. So this glue gun, it only has the one setting, and I believe it's a 5-volt output on this gun. And so the glue isn't as hot as what I'm used to. My stepdaughter teases me and says that I have no feeling in my fingers because I can like push down on glue and stuff like that, and just hot water when we're baking or whatever as well. I need to redo my fingernails too. They're kind of chipped, but whatever. That happens when you craft, right? It's hard to keep a nice manicure when you're a crafter. Seems like I'm always wrecking my nails on something. All right, so I do have a little bit of excess glue right here, and I'm gonna be brave, but that's not, no, it's not hot. I mean, it's, you know, it's warm, it's melting, obviously, but it's not like super hot like some of like the high temp glue guns. All right, now I'm gonna get some ribbon to run around the sides just to kind of finish this off a little bit. But that's how I'm going to finish it. I'm going to leave those serged edges around here and leave the back plain, because when it's sitting on this shelf, you won't be able to see it. So I'm going to get some ribbon, and we're going to do the final little ta-da for this. Now I could probably just tie this and it would stay, but I am going to glue it. So I'm going to start over here on this corner and then just glue down and around. That way it just will stay in place a little more long term. But like I just showed you here, I've kind of like started to figure out where I want this, because I don't want to get, this is a very short piece of ribbon. I just pulled it out of my jar. It just happened to be the right size. So I'm going to just start right over here and glue down and around. Now I could totally make sure to measure this perfectly so it was all centered all the way around, but I'm just going to eyeball it because, well, that's who I am. Looks like I already need another glue stick. I didn't feel like I used that much, but maybe I did. Like I said, these are the thinner glue sticks. They're pretty long. There's actually quite a bit of glue still in the gun, but it's not back here where it can push it forward. It does seem that it stopped dripping. Maybe I just had been pushing a little too much or something with it. I don't know. I'm glad it stopped dripping though. That was kind of annoying me. I'm glad I had my Teflon mat down to catch that. Which, you know, that's kind of just part of it. When you're doing something with hot glue, you definitely want to make sure that you're protecting your work surface. And I'm just going to go right to that point. All right. So I'm just going to tie a little bow up here, and we will call this project done. It's going to have to be a little bitty bow too, but that's on me for picking such a small piece of ribbon. It was perfect. It was perfect. All right, let's get that just tied and straightened up. Get our little loopy loops adjusted. Let me go ahead and make that a little smaller so my tail's a little longer. Now I just need to cut this end of the ribbon at an angle. Man, that just fit, didn't it? That was like, that's kind of crazy. I like it when things like that happen though, you know? It's just like, oh, it was meant to be. Meant to be. Now, I could totally go ahead and put a couple little dots of glue underneath that and hold it down, but I'm just going to leave it loose, I think. All right, so there's our finished little cross stitch piece. And the glue gun worked really good. Like I said, at the beginning, there was definitely some leakage. But after we got going with it, it worked out really well. So let's do our wrap up and I'll give you my final thoughts. All right, so you may have noticed this has this little stand here, which is actually nice. I just left it on there, but it does come off so you can store it. But it's kind of nice to have that just to set it down on the surface when you're done. It has a stand. It also has this little swing down thing, so you could just like hold it and let it lean on your table. But like I said, I like this little stand. I'm probably going to leave it on there every time I use it, just to be able to sit it down and let it sit on the table like that. Now, the stick that's up here, you need to leave that in there. But this one I could take back out because it hasn't gone all the way in. That'd be easier for storing. Just make sure you put that stick in there again because it's kind of like the little pusher stick. Now, a couple of the features of the gun, it does have this little light back here that turns blue when you turn it on after it's been charged, and that just tells you that it's warming up and that it's ready, and that's just kind of like the little indicator light. Now, this light will turn red, I believe, when it needs charged, and then when you put it on the charger, it'll be red until it's fully charged and it turns green. This is a little plug-in slot here where you just plug that cord into it. The other end's a USB cord. You plug that into a block or into a USB outlet to charge your gun. Now on this side of the gun is the on-off switch, so I'll just turn it off and you can see that light is off and that tells me the gun is off. Now obviously this is pretty warm. I mean, it's not like hot. Like obviously I have my hand on it and I'm not getting burnt or anything, but it's warm, so I wouldn't want to put it back in the case until it's cooled down. So I'll just probably lay it on my table and let it cool off for a little while, and then I'll put it back in the case. And like I said, the case is really nice. It's zippered, so you can put everything in there. You can store everything in there, put it on the shelf or in your closet in a drawer, wherever you store your glue guns. So that's, yeah, I mean, I like it. I like it. It's good. A good quality. I haven't used it that much, so I can't tell you like how long it's going to last, how many times you can charge it, anything like that. But it's, it's not super heavy, but it has a nice weight to it, and it works. So that's great, right? And we have a cute little cross stitch finish. How cute is that? Fun, right? So yeah, there's a link in the description box down below. If you're interested in this gun, you can go check it out. You can get it on Amazon. It's pretty cost effective. I will say the cordless feature is really nice because that is like my one complaint every time I use my regular glue gun, that cord just gets in the way, or I plug it in and then I'm trying to go a little further than the cord reaches, and yeah, so then I'm just like, ugh. And if you're going to a retreat or a convention, or I don't know, whatever you call it, that's your crafty thing, a craft day, or if you're doing a craft show or something like that, and you need to be able to have a glue gun at your disposal, but you may not have an outlet nearby, this is a great solution for that too. So check it out. Description box has a link, and if you're interested, please feel free to get one for your very own. So yeah. Hey guys, until next time, find joy in all you do. Carve out some time for crafting and creating, and remember, it's always better when you make stuff up.